Hey friend, welcome to On the Daily. I'm your host, Danielle McCleary, and I am a quantum business coach. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm a multi-six-figure entrepreneur, co-founder and president of Hype You Media, and CEO of Danielle on the Daily Coaching. What I'm really interested in is helping you live a life and have a business that is a full body yes. So through all of my education and all of my experience, I'm bringing you 2 episodes a week where I will guide you and give you the tools necessary to scale a massive, sustainable, and sexy business using your intuition, wealth energetics, and human design. What we can call it is business biohacking. So if you're down for that, then I say let's frickin' go. I'm so glad you're here. Good day on the Daily family. Welcome back to our show. Today is a tea time episode, a love punch or a love tap, a gut punch, a reality check, if you will. There are a lot of things that I've been thinking about, and I think this is the greatest time to talk about them. So I've just been noticing some things within, the world of personal development and entrepreneurship that kind of makes me go, huh? Things that people do or say versus what they do that make me go, huh? And I want to talk about it. I want to bring light to it because you know what? When somebody gave me this love tap, that's when I made big changes. So I figured, somebody will hear this episode and they'll go, wow, you're right. I've been living in scarcity, and maybe it'll help you bounce out of it. Before we jump into that, I need to tell you about Hype You. Hype You Media is officially here. Our Instagram, our website, all that's been out for about a month now. But we finally have a roster of shows. We are still looking for more. So if you are a podcast host, as well as some sort of entrepreneur, a coach, product-based business, financial advisor, and you also have a podcast, we want to hear from you. You can always come find me on Instagram, Danielle _ on the daily. You can go to Hype You _ media to slide into the DMs and let us know that you're interested in joining the network. So that's always an option. But we have a roster of shows now, and you're going to start to see a lot more of those shows when listening to my show. If you follow the Instagram page, we are so excited. This is the first time I've launched a business in this way, and I've learned so much about it just from, the amount of time that it takes and how, in order to do something correctly, sometimes it doesn't move at the speed you want it to, especially when other people are involved. And it's just been a really cool experience, but we're here. We've made it. We have a lot of really exciting things happening within Hype You in the next couple of months, including Hype University, which is our membership platform for entrepreneurs. And it's going to be great. So make sure you're following our Instagram, Hype You _ media. If you haven't been to hypeyoumedia.com, and you is you, not YOU. If you haven't been to hypeyoumedia.com, HYPEUMEDIA.com, and gotten on the wait list, you should, because we got a lot of fun things coming out, including giveaways and just pre-sale pricing and all the things. So make sure that you're following along and don't miss any of these updates that are coming so soon. I have a new program out, and it is beginning May 1st, and it is called From Zero to Launch. If you follow me, you've definitely heard me talk about From Zero to Launch. This is my business launching course. So I'm obsessed with helping people launch their brands, rebrand themselves, reimagine their brand, scale their brand or business. This is like my love language. And for a long time, I thought that I wasn't qualified to teach people how to do it because I didn't really even know how I did it. I know I just did it. But then I realized this is actually the exact thing I should be teaching on. So what I did is I literally went back through the 11 years of experience I have in building my own personal brand. And I have taken all the things that worked, noted down all the things that didn't, and I've literally put it into one giant course, which will run, it'll be about a 3-month course, give or take, depending on, if you keep up with the modules or not. Everything from the deciding and the inception phase to when you're figuring out your offers and like where you're going to host it and like sales pages and email lists. And, then we move into launching, like how do you just show up and speak live on camera? How do you sell things? How do you market your products in a way? How do you write copy? How do you, engage your network? How do you build your network so you can get new clients? And then moving into like the scalability phase, like, okay, great. You've sold an offer. Now, how do you scale that? How do you create passive income with that? How do you create automation and sales funnels? And we're going to talk about sales psychology, and we're going to talk about, how to build out a product suite. We're going to talk about all of it. It's all in this course. It's amazing. And if you have a business, if you've been looking to rebrand, if you've been looking to actually get like support in launching this business, because maybe you're the person that's like, I have a business and I've tried everything and it's just not working. And so maybe having a business isn't for me. Or maybe you just haven't hired support to help you launch it in a way that works. So you can still get pre-sale pricing until the end of today, and then the price is going to go up. And I hope that you take advantage of it. You can click the link in our show notes. You can come to my Instagram, click the link in my bio. So many different places that you can find out more about From Zero to Launch, including the phases, how it's going to run. Currently, you can get it for $677, which is $100 off the full price. And we have payment plans, lots of different ways you can jump in. So I hope that you do, because we start May 1st. And I think this is a great summer to launch a business, don't you? It's a tea time episode. I'm going to just start calling them this, like when I have some love taps to distribute. I'm going to call them tea time. Today's tea time is about investing. And this is a big one, and it's going to trigger some of you, and it's going to feel like heaviness in your heart. And hopefully that is what will trigger you to think differently about the way that you are investing in yourself and your business and your growth. Because I'll be honest, a lot of you, I hear a lot of chatter of people who are dreams of 6 and 7 figure businesses, dreams of multiple streams of income, dreams of serving thousands, dreams of buying their dream home, dreams of buying a Range Rover or a Land Rover or a G-Wagon. So you can write it off under Title VI. A lot of talk is happening. And then the action backed up with that is treating it like a hobby and not taking it seriously. And there's a huge discrepancy there, because when I hear people that are like, oh, I'm building a 7-figure business, or, oh, I'm going to buy myself a G-Wagon and write it off and I'm going to use it as a business car. Or when I hear people say things like, oh, I'm going to move out of state and I'm going to move to a ranch and I'm going to own like land and I'm going to start a homestead and all these things. Or when I hear people say that they're going to serve thousands of people with their business, but then I find out that they're only investing a few $100s here and there, I go, huh? Because y'all, here's the deal. Money is an energy. And if you are speaking a big game, 6, 7-figure business, ranch in the countryside, G-Wagon, luxury travel, first class flights, unlimited Amex card. If you're talking big like that, then you better be following that up with big risk and big investment. And if you're not, I'm sorry, you are lying to yourself. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And so many people speak a big game, but then invest like it's a hobby. Words versus action, y'all. So when I was earning between like $0 and $5,000 a month, I was investing probably about, I was probably investing about between $500 and $1,000 a month. So I was investing well over half of what I was making every month into my business, whether that be through marketing, through, hiring a VA to do some stuff. Maybe it was a coach, a program. I invested in a lot of programs back then because I just wanted to learn, right? And then when I was making between $5,000 and $10,000 a month consistently, I was investing about $1,500 to $2,000 a month, which felt like a stretch at that point because that didn't include all my expenses. That didn't include my kid. That didn't include, stuff for me. And it was a stretch. And, between $15,000 and $20,000 I was making per month, I was probably investing about $5,000 a month into coaching alone. And, the 30 to 50K months was probably closer to 10,000 a month. And this is something that I tell people and they go, how though? Like, I don't have that kind of money. And my response is, well, if you add up all the things that you're buying all the time, so you're stopping for coffee, if you get your hair done, if you get your nails done, if you are eating out, if you're going out and getting drinks, like I don't drink, but if you're going to the bars on the weekends, well, that's my social life. Like that's just the extra. That's what I want to be doing. That's great. I wanted to grow my business. So I made sure that I was prioritizing my investments. I also was prioritizing my write-offs, all my coaching, all the coaching that I pay for, all of the expenses for my business, hiring a team, a VA, an ops manager, a business manager, hiring a production team for my podcast, an accounting collective to do all of my bookkeeping. Those things are tax write-offs in my business and they're essential for my growth. And so I think that there's a lot of scarcity around investing. Like people have no problem spending money on drinks or, paying for a vacation. And oh my gosh, so many people, they'll start making like 5,000 a month and they'll buy a Birkin bag or a Louis Vuitton and they'll be like, yeah, ballin', but like they're still only investing like a couple $100s a month. And it's like, you make 10,000 a month and you're only investing a couple hundred. Where do you think your business is going to go? It's not going to grow. I'm going to tell you that. You're not going to get to 30, 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 months that way. That's not going to happen. You got to be investing, And it's so funny because when I was building a network marketing business, people would be like, for $49, you can start a business. And I'd be like, okay, but like, actually the people who are really going to the top, like I went to the top of my network marketing company in 11 months. And that was because I was investing a shit ton of money into that business. And that was through, trying out product. That was through, supporting my team by paying for gifts. That was through investing in coaching. That was through investing in an assistant. I was investing a lot of money into my business to make it do that. And I don't think you can build a business unless you're willing to invest. I mean, the exact definition of an entrepreneur is someone who takes risks. And if you're not willing to do that because you haven't healed your scarcity around money, then you're not going to grow the business that you want to grow. Scarcity around spending is huge. People have so much scarcity around spending money and investing money. And you have to get over that if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. Like there is no way you are going to build a successful 6 or 7 or multi-7 or 8-figure brand if you're not investing money. And then people go, well, I'll wait till I get there to invest. Well, that's not going to happen either, friend. How do you think the people who are making like I have a multi-6, almost 7-figure brand. How do you think I did that? It wasn't just by like hoping that one day I would make money. It was by stepping outside of my comfort zone and investing big in my business and getting mentorship and coaching from people who had done it and being willing to stretch myself. Sure. If I invested, when I first started investing $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 a month into coaching, I was stretched. Now that doesn't really seem that crazy, but I was stretched. And so I wasn't shopping as much. We weren't going out. We were eating at home. Like I was making the sacrifices that I needed to make in order to regulate my central nervous system. And ultimately, now I've done so much work on my money story. Like I don't need to worry about money. I don't ever get worried about money. I mean, it's the middle class wealth mentality will keep you broke. This idea that you got to hustle really hard and you got to save all your money and you shouldn't live on debt and you shouldn't accrue debt. It's going to keep you broke. I'm sorry. You cannot get rich with a middle class wealth mentality. Like you got to start thinking outside the box. You got to be taking big risks. I put everything on a credit card. Everything. My entire life is put on a credit card, whether it's a personal or a business credit card. And I pay that off. But I build my credit so that I can get the free upgrades on flights, so that I can get medallion and gold status on Delta, right? Like that's why I do that. I invest in my business I pay my coaches and my mentors what I pay them because they've done what I'm doing. They give me the support I need. They're the mirror that I desire so that I can get through my blind spots and actually grow. And yes, those investments have stretched me in the past. They've scared me in the past, but I don't invest based on the level I'm at. I invest at the level I'm going. And so if you have a business and you're like, yeah, I have an LLC and I have an S Corp and I got a business credit card. Well, then why aren't you investing? Why aren't you putting money on a credit card and investing it and like watching it work for you? Oh, well, I was told not to invest, like not to accrue credit, like, or accrue debt on a credit card. Well, okay, how's that working? Like it's just this, the middle class wealth mentality is not helpful, and it keeps you scarce and it keeps you feeling small. And it also determines the difference in you, right? Like, I have the society, which is $97 a month. More people have defaulted on, and that was $77 a month. More people have defaulted on that than people who pay me $1,500 a month for a mastermind, or $4,000 or $5,000 a month for private mentorship. More people default on their payments at $77. Why is that? Because you don't care as much. It's not as important to you. And so if you're not putting in, and listen, if you truly are broke and you truly are like low on money, great. You can still be investing in yourself. You can be investing in your business, and you can do that with your time. You can do that with your energy. You can do that with a bartering system that you have with people. There's a lot of different ways that you can truly be broke and also grow. And it's interesting because I actually feel like if you're listening to my podcast and you're like, oh, I really want to invest with Danielle, but I'm really scared to. Like, I've been there. I've listened to people who have triggered me in the past, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could never imagine spending that much money. But then you kind of have to step back and go, well, my intuition wouldn't have led me to this person if it wasn't a good fit. And so then you start putting yourself into the mentality of the person who will and is happy to invest $5,000, $10,000 a month into coaching and into their business. And just see how that changes your reality. See how that changes like the your chemistry makeup, right? There's a difference in you. And it's usually, there's a difference in you if you invest more versus if you invest less. Like, no one has ever defaulted on my mastermind, $1,500 a month. No one's ever defaulted on that. And it's because people who are willing and know the importance of investing in their business, they're making it a priority. It's not just a, well, we'll see what happens type of deal. It's a, this is important to me. I'm going to spend the time that I need to on this so that I can get the growth that I expect, so I can get the ROI that makes sense. And like I've said so many times, the ROI, it's not just a financial ROI you're looking for. Like, who are you becoming along the way? Are you a person who's setting more boundaries? Are you a person who is learning how to see your own blind spots and align with a new frequency? Like, this is the kind of stuff that mentorship gives you that you're just never going to get if all you're doing is like being afraid of investing. Every single time I've invested a large amount of money that has stretched me at that current level, every single time it has come back to me at least 4x, at least 4x. It's never not worked, ever. And I don't think you'll talk to many people that like put themselves first and actually took their investment seriously. And you probably won't hear them tell you that it didn't work in some way. And I think it's a worthiness issue. I don't think that you are sitting here. I don't think like if this is you and this is triggering you, I don't think you're actually sitting here going, oh my gosh, like I don't ever want to invest that much money. I know you do. And actually you probably can. The thing that you're drawn to, you can't afford it. It's just your ego's taking over and going, oh no, we shouldn't do this. This is not a good idea. And you're letting your ego drive. And ultimately you wouldn't have come to me. You wouldn't have come to the offer that you're interested in if your intuition wasn't like, yeah, we could make that happen. And like, if you go to Starbucks every day or even 4 days a week, let's say you go to Starbucks 4 days a week, you get a coffee, it's like $5. That's $20 a week. That's $80 to $100 a month on Starbucks. Like, and you're telling me that you can't invest in something? Like, I just don't buy it. I think that there's a huge difference between action and words, and a lot of people have a lot of words, but you will not grow that 6 or 7 figure brand that you want to grow if you're not willing to invest. And I don't care if you had a coach one time that like didn't give you what they wanted. Like there was probably something, maybe you settled for that coach. Maybe you ultimately wanted to work with someone else, but like felt like you couldn't afford them. So you chose the cheaper option and you got cheaper results, right? Like this is not rocket science. Energy, money, it's going to come in at the level that you operate at. So if you want to play big, you got to make big moves. If you want to receive big, you got to invest big. And that's just fact. It's just like showing the universe, God, source, whoever it is for you, like, I'm ready for this size of business. I'm ready for this amount of responsibility. I'm ready to take risk. That's what it's about. It's about being able to say, like, I am willing and able to take risk. And I trust myself enough to know that I will be okay. And that's it. And I think there's a lot of people that miss it. And there's a lot of people that are just like, yeah, I'll invest when I have money. It's never going to happen. Because you're not learning any new skills. You're not feeling what it feels like to invest in something. And like, if you're a coach in this space and you are charging your clients more than you've paid for coaching, what are you doing? What are you doing? It doesn't work. It doesn't work because people have to know that you know what they're going through. So pay attention to that. When next time you get presented with a coaching opportunity or an investment opportunity and you turn it down because the first thing that comes into your mind is, I can't afford that. You probably can. Might stretch you a bit, but you probably can. And this is like a conversation that I have all the time inside of my Scale to 6 mastermind. The women and the men in that container blow my mind every single day, because just to see the things that they're doing and saying and moving and shaking and investing in, it's a huge deal. It really, really is. And, if it's a mastermind space you're looking for, my Scale to 6 is a brilliant space. It's a brilliant space. And the people inside of that container have deep conversations, have conversations that pull them out of ruts that they're in. We have conversations where the mirror is held up to us and we can finally see our blind spots. And instead of dwelling on them, we heal them, we reframe, we redirect, we pivot. It's just such a good space. And if a mastermind space is something you're looking for, I highly suggest that you inquire about Scale to 6, because it's a huge value add and one of my favorite spaces. Okay. I hope this was helpful. And if it did trigger you, I would love to talk to you about it. Come to my Instagram, Danielle_on_the_daily. Let's have a conversation. And I love you. And I'll be back next week. Bye.